Imagine discovering an intelligent creature. Not on another planet, but right here on Earth. It doesn't have bones. It has 3 hearts, blue blood, 8 flexible arms, and a mind so different from ours that many scientists describe it as the closest thing to an alien intelligence on this planet. Meet the octopus. For centuries, people believed intelligence followed one evolutionary path. Brains became larger. Animals became smarter. Eventually, humans appeared. But evolution had another idea. Hidden beneath the ocean, it built intelligence all over again. Using an entirely different blueprint: humans, birds, dogs, and dolphins all inherited their intelligence from ancestors with backbones. The octopus didn't. Its evolutionary journey split from ours more than 500 million years ago. That means everything about its brain evolved almost independently. In his book Other Minds, marine philosopher and biologist Peter Godfrey-Smith calls the octopus an experiment in another kind of intelligence, one that evolution invented twice. Most intelligent animals store almost all of their neurons inside their brain. The octopus does something extraordinary. It has nearly 500 million neurons, but almost 2/3 of them are not inside its brain. They are inside its arms. Imagine if your own hands could think, explore, taste, and solve problems before your brain even gave them instructions. That sounds impossible. For an octopus, it's everyday life. Researchers discovered that an octopus arm can continue exploring objects, even when it cannot directly see them. Thousands of tiny suckers taste, touch, and analyze the environment. Each arm gathers information independently, then shares it with the central brain. Instead of one commander giving every order, the octopus manages a team of 8 intelligent explorers. When scientists first began studying octopus intelligence, many believed the results had to be mistakes. But experiment after experiment produced the same conclusion. The octopus wasn't simply reacting. It was learning, remembering, adapting. Professor Jennifer Mather, one of the world's leading octopus behavior researchers, has spent decades documenting evidence that octopuses solve problems in remarkably flexible ways. They don't just follow instincts. They improvise. And perhaps that is the true beginning of intelligence. Imagine placing your favorite snack inside a sealed glass jar. Now imagine giving that jar to an animal with no hands, no fingers, and no bones. Most animals would simply give up. But not the octopus. In laboratory experiments, researchers placed live crabs inside transparent jars with screw-on lids. At first, the octopus examined the jar from every angle. Its arms explored every surface. Its suckers searched for tiny edges and grooves. Then something incredible happened. Instead of pulling harder, the octopus began twisting the lid. One arm held the jar steady. Another slowly rotated the cap. Just seconds later, the lid came off, and the octopus calmly collected its reward. This wasn't luck. Scientists repeated the experiment many times. Different octopuses solved the same problem, each using slightly different techniques. Not by instinct alone, but by learning, experimenting, and adapting. For a long time, scientists believed that making and carrying tools was something only highly intelligent mammals and birds could do. Chimpanzees use sticks. Crows shape hooks. Humans build civilizations. But deep beneath the ocean, an octopus quietly shattered that belief. In 2009, marine biologist Dr. Julian Finn and his colleagues documented something extraordinary. They watched veined octopuses collecting empty coconut shells from the seafloor. Not to eat them. Not to hide immediately. They carried the shells. Sometimes for surprisingly long distances. Balancing them carefully beneath their bodies. At first, the shells seemed completely useless. But when danger appeared, the octopus quickly assembled the two shell halves, creating a portable shelter. It wasn't simply using a tool. It was carrying one. For a future problem that hadn't happened yet. That kind of planning is incredibly rare in the animal kingdom. It suggests that the octopus doesn't just react to the present. Sometimes, it prepares for the future. Imagine locking an animal inside a secure aquarium. The lid is closed. The walls are smooth. There is only one tiny opening. A drainage pipe. Most animals would accept defeat. The octopus starts looking for a way out. Around the world, aquarium keepers have reported astonishing escape attempts. Some octopuses have squeezed through openings barely larger than their own beaks. Others have slipped into drainage pipes, crawled across wet floors, visited neighboring tanks, ate the fish inside, and somehow returned to their own aquarium before morning. At New Zealand's National Aquarium, an octopus named Inky became world famous. One night, he discovered a small gap in his enclosure. He squeezed through it, found a drain pipe leading toward the ocean, and disappeared back into the wild. His escape wasn't random. It required exploration, decision-making, flexibility, and remarkable problem-solving. For an octopus, a locked tank is simply another puzzle waiting to be solved. Imagine standing in front of a predator, with nowhere to run, no shell to hide inside, no sharp claws, no powerful teeth. For most animals, that would be the end. But the octopus does something almost magical. Within a fraction of a second, its skin begins to transform. Brown becomes white. White becomes red. Smooth skin suddenly grows rough bumps. Its entire body changes shape. It doesn't simply change color. It changes texture, pattern, and sometimes, even its identity. Marine biologist Professor Roger Hanlon has spent decades studying this astonishing ability. His research revealed that octopuses use millions of tiny pigment cells called chromatophores, working together with specialized reflective cells and tiny skin muscles. They create one of the fastest camouflage systems ever discovered. Some species can even imitate dangerous sea animals, convincing predators that they are looking at something completely different. For an octopus, disappearing isn't magic. It's biology. When the ocean grows quiet and darkness settles over the reef, the octopus searches for a safe place to rest. It gently wraps its arms around its body and slowly falls asleep. For a long time, scientists believed sleep was simply a period of rest. But recent research revealed something far more fascinating. While sleeping, an octopus doesn't remain completely still. Its skin suddenly flashes through different colors. Dark brown, bright white, deep red, spotted patterns, striped patterns. Sometimes all within just a few seconds. Its arms begin to twitch. Its suckers gently curl and relax. Even its eyes move beneath the skin. Researchers at the Okinawa Institute of Science and Technology carefully observed these remarkable sleep cycles. Their findings revealed that octopuses experience two distinct stages of sleep. The first is a quiet, restful stage. The second is a highly active stage that closely resembles rapid eye movement or REM sleep in humans. During this active phase, The octopus rapidly changes colors, alters its skin patterns, and makes small body movements, as if its brain is processing information gathered during the day. Scientists still don't know exactly what happens inside the octopus mind during this stage. Whether it is organizing memories, practicing camouflage, or experiencing something similar to dreams remains one of the biggest unanswered questions in marine neuroscience. Every new discovery reminds us that we still know surprisingly little about the inner world of one of Earth's most extraordinary animals. And as scientists continue exploring the octopus brain, the mysteries only become deeper. Perhaps sleep is only one small piece of an intelligence we are just beginning to understand. Imagine walking into a room filled with 20 octopuses. At first glance, they all seem almost identical. Same number of arms, same body shape, same remarkable intelligence. But spend enough time watching them, and something unexpected begins to appear. Some octopuses are fearless. They immediately explore every new object placed inside their environment. They investigate. They experiment. They solve. Others are far more cautious. They remain hidden, watching from a distance, waiting until they feel completely safe. In other words, octopuses have personalities. This isn't just an observation from aquarium keepers. It is supported by scientific research. Behavioral ecologist Professor Jennifer A. Mather, one of the world's leading octopus researchers, spent years studying individual octopuses. Her research found that different octopuses consistently displayed different behavioral traits. Some were consistently bold. Some remained consistently shy. Others showed remarkable curiosity, while a few appeared unusually calm. These differences remain stable over time, just like personality traits in mammals. Scientists now believe an octopus doesn't simply respond to the world. It responds as an individual. Every octopus experiences its environment through its own unique behavioral style. Perhaps that is one of the clearest signs that intelligence isn't only about solving problems. It's also about having a unique way of experiencing the world. Deep inside a quiet underwater cave, a female octopus prepares for the most important moment of her life. She carefully attaches thousands of tiny eggs to the ceiling of her den. From that moment forward, everything changes. She stops hunting. She stops exploring. She rarely leaves the nest. Instead, she devotes every moment to protecting her future offspring. Day after day, she gently cleans each egg with her arms, removing tiny particles that could encourage harmful bacteria or fungi. She continuously fans the eggs with fresh water, supplying them with the oxygen they need to survive. This devotion continues, not for days, but for months, depending on the species. Some octopus mothers guard their eggs for over 6 months. And in the remarkable giant Pacific octopus, the mother may protect her eggs for nearly a year. Even more astonishing, the deep-sea Grainolodon borea pacifica holds the world record. Scientists observed one mother guarding her eggs for more than 4 years, the longest known brooding period of any animal on Earth. Throughout this extraordinary sacrifice, she eats little or nothing at all. Her body slowly grows weaker. Every bit of energy she has is invested in keeping her young alive. Finally, the eggs begin to hatch. Tiny octopuses drift into the ocean, beginning lives their mother will never see. Her mission is complete. Exhausted after months, or even years, of unwavering care, she quietly dies. For an octopus, motherhood is not measured by survival. It is measured by sacrifice. Imagine visiting the same aquarium every single day. You feed one particular octopus. You speak softly. You move slowly. Week after week. Month after month, something unusual begins to happen. The octopus starts reacting differently the moment it sees you. Not because you are carrying food, but because it recognizes you. For many years, scientists assumed octopuses treated all humans the same. But careful observations told a different story. Marine biologist Professor Jennifer A. Mather and other cephalopod researchers reported that individual octopuses often respond differently to different people. Some eagerly approach familiar caretakers. Others remain cautious around strangers. And a few develop surprisingly strong likes or dislikes. At the Seattle Aquarium, keepers even reported certain octopuses squirting water at specific staff members, while completely ignoring others. It wasn't random behavior. The same people received the same reaction. Again and again. Researchers believe octopuses combine visual information, movement, and repeated experiences to distinguish one person from another. Unlike crows, they probably don't recognize faces in exactly the same way. But the evidence suggests they can learn to identify individual humans and remember how each one has treated them. To an octopus, not every human is the same. Some represent curiosity, some represent safety, and some may simply be someone they'd rather avoid. Imagine traveling back more than 500 million years. Long before dinosaurs. Long before mammals. Long before humans even existed. Deep in the ancient oceans lived a small, simple creature. It was the common ancestor of both humans and octopuses. From that single ancestor, our evolutionary path separated. For hundreds of millions of years, we evolved in completely different worlds. Our ancestors walked onto land, built bones, developed hands, and eventually built civilizations. The ancestors of octopuses stayed beneath the sea. They never developed a backbone. They never formed social groups like primates. They never built tools across generations. Yet something extraordinary happened. Both evolutionary paths produced remarkable intelligence. Scientists call this convergent evolution. It happens when completely unrelated animals independently evolve similar abilities because they face similar challenges. The octopus solved problems. Humans solved problems. The octopus learned from experience. Humans learned from experience. The octopus developed flexible behavior. Humans did too. But the brains behind those abilities are built in completely different ways. One intelligence evolved with bones. The other without a single bone in its body. According to evolutionary biologists, the octopus may represent the closest example we have of an independently evolved intelligent mind. That is why many scientists affectionately describe octopuses as alien intelligence on Earth. Not because they came from another planet, but because their minds evolved along a path so different from our own that they allow us to ask one fascinating question. If intelligence evolved twice on Earth, could evolution create it again? Throughout this journey, we've discovered an animal with 3 hearts, a brain unlike any other, 8 intelligent arms that can solve problems almost on their own. We've watched it escape impossible situations, use tools, change color in the blink of an eye, protect its young with extraordinary devotion, recognize individual humans, and perhaps even experience a form of active dreaming. None of these abilities exist in isolation. Together, they reveal something much larger. Intelligence is not a single invention. It is a blueprint that evolution can build in many different ways. For centuries, humans measured intelligence by how closely other animals resembled us: hands, language, social groups, civilizations. But the octopus challenges every one of those assumptions. It has no backbone, no family traditions passed from generation to generation, no cities, no written language. Yet it solves problems, learns from experience, adapts to new situations, and survives, using a mind built on an entirely different design. Perhaps the question was never, how intelligent is the octopus? Perhaps the better question is, how many different forms can intelligence take? Because if evolution created one extraordinary mind beneath the sea, what other remarkable minds are still waiting to be understood? Everything you've seen in this documentary may sound unbelievable. An animal with 8 thinking arms, a master of camouflage, a tool user, an escape artist, a creature that may even experience REM-like sleep. But none of these discoveries came from myths or internet stories. They came from decades of careful scientific research. For more than 40 years, behavioral ecologist Professor Jennifer A. Mather has studied octopus behavior. Her work revealed that octopuses are not simple creatures driven only by instinct. They explore, they learn, they remember, and each individual displays its own unique personality. Marine biologist Roland C. Anderson documented remarkable examples of octopus problem solving, showing how these animals learn from experience and adapt their behavior to new challenges. In 2009, researchers Julian Finn, Mark Norman, and Tom Tregenza made a discovery that surprised the scientific world. They observed veined octopuses collecting discarded coconut shells, carrying them across the seafloor, and later assembling them into protective shelters. It became one of the clearest examples of tool use ever recorded in an invertebrate. Then, in 2021, scientists at the Okinawa Institute of Science and Technology uncovered something even more astonishing. They discovered that octopuses experience 2 distinct stages of sleep, including an active stage, remarkably similar to REM sleep in humans. Each study answered one question, but created many new ones. Because every discovery revealed that the octopus mind is far more complex than scientists had ever imagined. Today, researchers around the world continue studying these extraordinary animals, not because they have solved the mystery, but because the mystery has only grown deeper. After decades of research, scientists have uncovered remarkable secrets about the octopus mind. But perhaps the greatest discoveries are still waiting to be made. For example, does an octopus truly imagine the future before making a decision? Or does it simply react faster than we can understand? When an octopus solves a puzzle, what is happening inside its mind? Is it planning, experimenting, or forming a mental picture, just as humans sometimes do? And what about dreams? Researchers have discovered REM-like sleep, rapid color changes, moving eyes, twitching arms. But no scientist can yet answer whether an octopus actually dreams. Perhaps the greatest mystery is memory itself. How does a brain, so different from our own, store experiences, learn from mistakes, and recognize familiar situations again and again? Even more surprising, nearly 2/3 of an octopus's neurons are located inside its arms. Scientists still don't fully understand how information flows between those arms and the central brain. Where exactly does a decision begin? Inside the brain? inside an arm, or somewhere in between? These are not simple questions. Some of the world's leading neuroscientists are still searching for the answers. Because every experiment reveals another mystery, and every discovery reminds us how much remains unknown. Perhaps the most fascinating thing about the octopus isn't what we've already learned. It's everything we still have left to discover. For thousands of years, humans believed there was only one path to intelligence: a large brain, a backbone, hands that could build tools, communities that could share knowledge. But evolution had another idea. Deep beneath the ocean, a creature with no bones, no spoken language, and a lifespan of only a few years, developed remarkable problem-solving abilities, an extraordinary memory, and a mind unlike anything else on Earth. The octopus reminds us that intelligence doesn't follow a single blueprint. It can emerge in completely unexpected ways. That realization has changed the questions scientists ask. Instead of wondering which animals are most like humans, researchers now ask, what conditions allow intelligence to evolve? Because if evolution found one path through mammals, and another through cephalopods, could there be others we haven't discovered yet? Not because evolution has a goal, but because natural selection can sometimes favor flexible learning, curiosity, and problem solving. When those traits improve survival, some evolutionary biologists suggest that studying octopuses helps us understand not only life on Earth, but the many different ways complex minds might arise in nature. The octopus doesn't prove that intelligence will always evolve, but it reminds us that evolution can be far more creative than we once imagined. Perhaps the greatest lesson hidden beneath the waves is not that octopuses think like us. It's that nature never needed to. When most people think of intelligence, they imagine something familiar. A face that looks like ours, hands that build, voices that speak, eyes that show emotion. But the ocean tells a different story. Hidden beneath the waves lives an animal whose mind evolved along a completely different path. No backbone, 3 hearts, 8 intelligent arms, a life measured in years, not decades. And yet, it learns, it remembers, it adapts, it solves problems. The octopus reminds us that intelligence is not about looking human. It is about meeting the challenges of life in extraordinary ways. Perhaps that is why the natural world continues to surprise us. Every forest, every ocean, every desert, every mountain may hold another story, waiting to be understood. The more we study nature, the more we discover that humans are not standing above it. We are part of it. Every species carries millions of years of evolution. Every animal represents a unique solution to the same challenge: how to survive, how to adapt, how to live. Perhaps the greatest mystery isn't the octopus, it's the incredible creativity of evolution itself. And maybe the next extraordinary mind isn't waiting in another galaxy. Maybe it's already here, quietly hiding somewhere on Earth, just waiting for us to notice. The ocean still hides countless mysteries, and perhaps the octopus is only one of them. Every species we explore reveals another extraordinary way life has adapted. learned, and survived. Here at the Wild Whisper, we don't just discover animals. We uncover the hidden intelligence, the remarkable behaviors, and the science that shapes their lives. Because every whisper from the wild tells a story, waiting to be heard. If you enjoyed this journey into the incredible mind of the octopus, consider subscribing, and join us as we continue exploring the hidden psychology, the surprising intelligence, and the untold stories of the natural world. In our next episode, we'll leave the ocean behind and step into the African savanna to meet one of the most misunderstood predators on Earth, an animal famous for its laughter, but feared for all the wrong reasons. We'll uncover the truth about hyenas, their intelligence, their complex social lives, their extraordinary teamwork, and why science now views them very differently than most people do. Until then, stay curious. Keep listening to the Wild Whisper.